Hello and welcome back to Zara Energy. We are getting straight into what is happening. Mercury is going direct in Scorpio. Good news. November 29th, we can finally move forward with things, and I will tell you how it's influencing you. Okay. Now, the post-shadow period is something to keep in mind. Mercury will remain in Scorpio until December 11th. Post-shadow. Mercury will enter into Sagittarius. December 15th, Mercury will leave the post-shadow in Sagittarius, where it will remain until January 1st of 2026. So all the delays in the retrograde, you're going to see things smooth along. Okay. Things coming into its strength, especially with Mercury in terms of sales, communication, higher education, expansion, growth, especially. The reason for this video, I'm making it because I want you to listen and listen carefully. What has transpired during this retrograde is something you need to keep in mind when it came to love and money, especially with Scorpio. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio shows us the truth. This is where we say things that can hurt each other. Listen, this is Scorpio. It's pain. So we can hurt people. Yeah, we can hurt people with our words. We can hurt people with our actions. We can hurt people with the choices we make. And, the truth is revealed of how people feel within that, what they've been holding onto. Now it all comes up. Okay. It's like emotional vomit. That is what it is. It all comes to the surface. And financially too. A Mercury retrograde, Scorpio rules finances, shared resources, business contracts, other people's money. So where you get paid from. It also rules over insurances, taxes, loans, debts, unexpected bills that you need to pay that you thought you were done with. It's money, but it's also intimacy. It's also pain triggers, trauma, anxiety, past pain and trauma that you thought you were done with, resurfacing. Okay, it's Mercury retrograde. It's time to revisit those things. So during a Mercury retrograde, that's what we do. And I need you to remember what's happening now because you're not done with it. This is just this, dress rehearsal, okay? Next year, 2026, we're going to have Venus retrograde. Venus will enter into the post-shadow period in August and will retrograde in Scorpio and Libra. And then coupled with that, we're going to have Mercury retrograde. So Venus will enter into the post-shadow in August. Venus will station retrograde October 3rd in Scorpio. Okay, right? Venus will station direct in November. Now, Mercury will station retrograde on the 24th of October and November as well. Keep this in mind. And I will have all the dates linked down below and why you should keep this in mind because the Venus retrograde, see, Mercury retrograde, it's about 3 weeks. Venus retrograde, it's longer. Okay. It's about 6 weeks. And Venus is hard. It's what we value. Venus retrogrades are emotionally hard because it's our values, it's our money, it's relationships. And I'm not trying to scare you. The beginning of the year is great. There's a lot you can do in the beginning of the year, okay? You can really get things moving along. We're going to enter into the year with so much in Capricorn. December 15th, Mars enters into Capricorn in its exaltation. 24th of December, Venus enters into Capricorn. 1st of January, Mercury in Capricorn. The beginning of the year, Capricorn is here giving us the energy to really get down to business and crack the whip. Okay, so we can really do a lot in the beginning of the year. 17th of February, new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. Yes, I do have guidebooks available if you want to know what's happening next year, how to navigate this energy. It is not a bad time. A Venus retrograde, a Mercury retrograde is a reevaluation of money and finances. And the good news is you got a taste for now to know what is real, what's unreal, and what changes you want to make. And I'm sure a lot of you are sitting there thinking, there's some things that need to change in my life. There's some things that need to change emotionally within me, financially, within my partnerships, and what I allow. And you do it now. Because it's interesting that this year we had, and I will link that video, where we had Venus retrograde in, it's so funny. We had Venus retrograde in Aries as well as Pisces, okay? And that energy right there was potent, powerful, especially with Venus in Aries. That retrograde took us along the journey of, challenges and conflicts earlier this year. And I'll link the dates all down below. Also had a Mercury retrograde. So what I want you to keep in mind is that Venus is in its detriment in Aries. It is also in its detriment in Scorpio. So these 2 years are some harsh retrogrades when it comes to love and money. 2026 now too. But I do like the fact of how we start off 2026. I love that Aquarius solar eclipse. I feel that we are now moving in a new direction. A North Node Aquarius is collaboration, community, networking, being out there, online and in person. Okay, currently with the North Node Pisces, you know, and we had that first eclipse in September of 2024 in Pisces, was all about healing and seclusion and walking away from situations and taking care of your health. South Node Virgo, jobs coming to an end. I will link that video down below that spoke about this as well. It's intense. So I am looking forward to the North Node in Aquarius. Aquarius is that energy about wish fulfillment, desires. What is your long-term wishes and dreams? And are you willing to step outside of your comfort zone? Because let me tell you, that's what the North Node means. So that's what's coming up in 2023. 2026. Okay? That's what's coming up for us in 2026. So pay attention to this Mercury retrograde. What transpired? You know, I will link the Mercury retrograde video I did. What happened for you? What came about in your life? What changes were you deciding to make? What revelations? Because it's going to impact you if you don't take action after the retrograde on the insights and the gifts, golden nuggets this Mercury retrograde gave to you. You don't want to be sitting there next year and thinking, why didn't I listen to myself at the end of 2025? Okay? And this is why I'm making this video, so that you don't be that person, that you don't sit there thinking, why did I not? Yes, make your decisions and move forward after best time after December 15th going forward, but truly don't be that person. Keep the wisdom you gained from the retrograde because it definitely was here to teach you something. Now let's get into what does Mercury moving direct mean for you? Aries. This was a total reevaluation of intimacy. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio from November 19th was about intimacy, relationships, trust. Having to trust your intuition, looking at your finances, reanalyzing your finances. This was also about you. You are a Mars rule sign, right? Scorpio's Mars rule. So this is influencing you, your sense of self, your identity. You could also just felt burnt out. There was a lot that you needed to do. And this was really great for you completing things in terms of research, in terms of, anything where you have to dig deep into. You would have really reaped the rewards for past efforts financially or anything that you've been working on in terms of business and how you can excel going forward. But there would have been challenges in intimacy and breakups and romances. Now, keep in mind in 2026, you will revisit this, okay? Remember, Venus retrograde that will be happening in October till November, as well as Mercury retrograde, October and November. Both in Venus and in Scorpio will be the Venus retrograde and Mercury will retrograde in Scorpio. So you will revisit these aspects, especially if you don't heed the call of the message that came through during this time and act accordingly. Okay, what can you see improving going forward from now, 29th of November going forward? Finances, shared resources, partners' resources, financial stability. This is where intimacy also really deepens. This is also a great time for healing, potent, powerful time for you. And then on December 11th, Mercury will be in the post-shadow period and retrograde back into Sagittarius. This is really great for expansion, growth, higher learning. This is where you might even receive something from the efforts of the retrograde where you're working on something previously in terms of higher learning, education, publications, travel. Okay, and then from December 15th, this is where you really feel that optimism about the expansion, growth, your spiritual journey and travel going forward until January 1st of 2026. So it's a really potent time, great for expansion and growth. Taurus, this is really great for your one-on-one relationships. A lot of opportunities can come to you for your one-on-one relationships, right? Mercury retrograde could have created havoc in terms of contracts, deals, negotiations, delays, frustrations, especially during this time, and it would have been exhausting. Okay. So going forward, you're going to see smooth energy flowing through in partnerships, personally and professionally, until December 11th. Keep in mind, what was revealed to you during the retrograde is important. Act upon it once the retrograde is complete, but keep the golden nuggets of truth about relationships, personally and professionally. Because come 2026, we're going to have a Venus retrograde in October and November. Post-shadow period starts in August, but anyways, let's stick to October, November. We're going to have Venus retrograde in Scorpio and Libra, as well as Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. So this will all be revisited back then, especially if you don't act upon the wisdom you received during this time. Okay, the truth, the revelations about self and relationships. Now, going forward, December 11th, Mercury will be post-shadow in Sagittarius. This could create a lot of financial woes and intimate woes for you, exes and so forth. Just stress and tension when it came to finances, intimacy, shared resources, business, tax, loans, debts, delays, other people's money too, challenges with your spouse and their finances, especially if you have a spouse. Going forward, right, on December 15th, Mercury will leave the post-shadow period, and you're going to see ease. You're going to see ease up in all of these areas of life. The retrograde created this. Once the post-shadow period happens from December, with Mercury post-shadow entering to Sagittarius, you're going to see so many opportunities, okay, going forward. And it just gets better after December 15th. So this is good for you. But keep in mind what is transpired now. Now do comment your placements, because your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Gemini, Mercury stations direct 29th of November, and it is your ruler. So you're so relieved. And it will be in the post-shadow period, okay? And Mercury will remain in Scorpio until December 11th. And this is you now. During the retrograde, you dealt with a lot of challenges in work, health, routine, right? If you had to do acts of service. Now, this is an open enemies too, and tensions with co-workers. Now things start moving smoothly. You see more opportunities within your work situation. Delays within your work now can come and be rectified. This is also about, opportunities if you offer services. Like now, this is where you can see people wanting your services, especially if there were delays prior. Health-related matters, clarity over health-related matters. Please keep in mind what happened during this retrograde, because come October of 2026, we're going to have Venus retrograde in Scorpio, as well as it will retrograde into Libra, and we will have a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio again. So the golden nuggets of wisdom you received, keep that with you when it came to your work, health, and routine. And moving forward, act upon it after the post-shadow period. December 11th, Mercury will be post-shadow in Sagittarius, and you're going to see some easing up within your personal and professional relationships, easing of tensions, any delays with contracts come through, delays with sales, everything starts moving smoothly. By December 15th, things improve so much more, because Mercury will leave the post-shadow period in Sagittarius. Now, do comment your placements, and I will respond to you down below. Cancer, Mercury is going direct November 29th in Scorpio, where it remains until December 11th, still post-shadow. This is really great for you, because this would have you seeing things with clarity when it comes to children, fertility, pregnancy, anything like that, as well as your creativity, your romance, your children. Fun and passion comes back. If you felt like a little bit down and under, if you're dealing with breakups during the retrograde, miscommunication with your kids or about kids or anyone that you're romantically involved with, this all eases up. If you heard back from exes, this is where you gain the clarity going forward and things start getting better. Now, December 11th, Mercury post-shadow enters into Sagittarius. But before I get into that, I want you to think of the golden nuggets of wisdom you got about your creativity. If you're an entrepreneur as well, this would have created some delays. What golden nuggets do you get about children, fertility, romance that you need to listen to? Because come 2026, Venus will retrograde in Scorpio and Libra, October. And then October, Mercury retrograde back in Scorpio. So we will revisit these themes. And we will revisit these things in a big way. So whatever wisdom you got and whatever you know you need to be done with, be done with it. Okay. And then let's talk about that post shadow. So we're going to have the post shadow of Mercury, post shadow December 11th in Sagittarius. Is really great for forward movement when it comes to work endeavors, services that you offer. There's a lot of opportunities that want to come through for you, as well as by December 15th, things start moving a lot better. Health-wise, you have health, you have vitality, you really get information, you get answers about your work, your health, any delays when it came to job offers, delays within your work, services that you offer, things vastly improve for you. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you down below. Sweet Leo. Okay. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio goes direct November 29th. Mercury has been creating challenges in Scorpio, particularly for you when it comes to your home, your living situation, family, emotions, reminiscing about the past, reconnecting those sometimes to family members you haven't seen in a long time. So that's a beautiful part about that. But this Mercury retrograde could have brought up some heavy emotions for you. If you were living with someone, your domestic space, there could have been a lot of tensions around you in your home, as well as about your home, moving home, renovations, delays and tensions, right? And this is uncomfortable. Now going forward, things smooth over, right? Until December 11th, we still in the post shadow period, so some hiccups can arise. However, things start getting better and better. I do want you to keep in mind, Leo, everything that's transpired during this time, because come October, right, of 2026, you will revisit these areas, especially with Venus retrograde in Scorpio and Libra, okay? And then Mercury retrograde as well in Scorpio once again in 2026. So the golden nuggets of wisdom you receive, those truthful ways you would have boundaries with this person emotionally or family member, or what truths were revealed, or what challenges you feel within your home life, you're going to get the opportunity to act on the wisdom you receive so you can improve yourself going forward with the retrogrades, right? You don't want to go back to that. Like, you don't want to go to 2026 and think like, I wish I made that choice. So listen to your heart. December 11th, Mercury, post shadow Sagittarius. This is now where maybe you hear from some exes, but this is really great for romance, creativity, fun, pleasure, children, passion, entrepreneurs. Things are moving forward and improving. December 15th, the post shadow now comes to an end in Sagittarius, and a lot of opportunities can come to you. News about children, news about creativity, news about entrepreneurship, news about, fun and pleasure. Anything gives you enjoyment, this is where it comes through for you. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below. Virgo, your ruler finally goes direct November 29th, and things feel so much better. The anxiety, the tension already lifts just by that. And going forward day by day, you feel so much better. Mercury goes direct in Scorpio, remains until December 11th. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio will create a lot of tensions within the home, family, relatives, communication, information being revealed. Okay? This is where you would have seen the truth about things. And you'd have to make some decisions. But it would have been challenging because Mercury was, retrograde. And this is your mental capacity. So it was heavy mentally for you. I would say pay attention to everything that transpired now, because come 2026, Venus will retrograde October in Scorpio and Libra, and then Mercury will retrograde in Scorpio in October, November. So everything that's happened now, we will revisit in some way. We will reevaluate in some way. But I can give you this words of wisdom. Heed the call of the truth and the nuggets of wisdom you received during this retrograde. Because take action upon. Once the retrograde is done, you got the truth. You know where you need to downsize, where you need to reshuffle things, what changes and how you can transform. Do so early in the year, and it will be so much better for you. December 11th, Mercury enters post shadow period into Sagittarius. This is your home, emotions, and family, and things start moving along a lot, just with ease. Yes, some hiccups can happen. It's a post shadow period, but communications flow with loved ones. travel to family members' places. This is all about family and communication with family, and you're also reminiscent more on the past. Post-shadow period ends December 15th, and things really move smoothly along when it comes to home, family. There's a sense of optimism and good cheer going around. This is great for traveling. This is great for communication. This is great for optimism. This is great for having, connections and connecting to other people. It is Jupiter, so things can become quite excessive. Be aware of that. You don't want to become emotionally overwhelmed. So give yourself some downtime, because you will be needing some time to rest and rejuvenate. Comfort is key for you. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Libra, Mercury goes direct November 29th. And this is great. In Scorpio, this created money delays. The retrograde in Scorpio created financial challenges, rethinking your finances, conflicts about finances, internal conflict about finances, because your mind would have been focused on your skills, your talents, and how you're earning money. Maybe there were some unexpected bills you needed to pay for, and you're like, oh my goodness. Now going forward, things start to lighten up, and there's a lot more ease and pleasure going forward when it comes to your income and money you receive. Any delays, any contracts, all come through now with ease. So this is really good for you, especially if there's been delays about communications when it comes to work-related matters. I will say to you, listen to what happened and the revelations you got about your finances during this retrograde and your relationships. Particularly because, in 2026, October, we'll have a Venus retrograde, which is your rules over money and love in Scorpio and Libra. So reevaluation of things. And then Mercury retrograde once again in Scorpio, October and November. So keep this in mind, that whatever you don't do now, the wisdom that you receive now, if you don't act upon it, you will need to reevaluate it then, and you'll be asking yourself, why did I make that choice? Why didn't I change things early in the year? So if there's any ideas, because a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is going to give you the truth about your finances and how to move forward. What changes need to happen in order for you to find the stability. I'm not saying that the retrograde is going to be a walk in the park, but you can alleviate your stress by being prepared. This is not about doom and gloom. This is just about awareness, and awareness is key to success, right? December 11, post-shadow, Mercury enters into Sagittarius. This is your mind, it's communication, it's ideas, relatives, and things start moving along rather smoothly. By December 15th, expansion and growth when it comes to your mind. It's great for travel. It's great for, seeking out new experiences and really just enjoying yourself, right? Optimism with your relatives. It's really fun. Do comment your placements, and I will respond to you. And remember, your birth chart is unique to you. So sharing your placements gives me more insights. Scorpio. Mercury goes direct in your sign, November 29th, Virgo main, post-shadow, December 11th. This has you reevaluating everything about yourself, like my relationships, my money, my sense of self, everything. There was a lot of miscommunication, misunderstandings. People didn't want to hear what you had to say. They didn't give a hoot. Okay? No hoots about what you got to say, what you got to do, none of that. And there would have been delays and frustrations and tensions and conflicts and just not doing where you want to be. And it was stressful for you as well. Okay? I want you to keep the wisdom you got about how you need to redefine what you want and your goals and how you want to move forward early into 2026, because come later that year, from October, we're going to have a Venus retrograde in your sign and with Libra. And then we're also going to have Mercury retrograde in October in your sign once again. So we're going to revisit this. And we don't want to kick ourselves saying, why didn't I make the changes I got about the goals or the truth that I got or the wisdom I received? I had insights, but Mercury retrograde is done now. Things are moving along. So worry about that next time. No, listen to the wisdom you received during this time and act upon it earlier in the year. And you will find the retrogrades late in the year a lot more easier. December 11th, post-shadow, Mercury enters into Sagittarius. And this is where you're going to see any delays you struggled with money-related matters now coming through. You get the offer, you find more money that comes your way. You're able to save your money. Your money is just more abundant to you and more access to you, right? Especially if there were delays. And you will see from December 15th, even better. Now Mercury leaves the post-shadow period in Sagittarius, where it will remain till January 1st. Mercury enters into Capricorn. So now you really see that success going forward. You really see the opportunities coming to light for you financially in December. So it's good. It's all good. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you. Your birth chart is unique to you. So sharing your placements gives me the opportunity to share more insights with you in the comments. Sagittarius. Finally, Mercury goes direct in Scorpio on November 29th, where it remains until December 11th. The 11th, post-shadow, okay? And this for you has you reminiscing about the past. Oh, it's hard. It's walking away. It's endings. It's being done. It's lonely. It's isolating. It was not the best time to have conversations. Conversations now were like ending. What do I need for healing? Solitude. It would have been challenging, especially having a conversation now is like you can't be heard. Having a conversation now is like trying to speak underwater. And that's what people would have heard from you. Boom. Especially Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Okay, it doesn't do well with you, particularly. I want you to remember what's transpired during this retrograde, especially the Scorpio bit. Okay, October 21st, November 19th. Keep it all in mind because come next year, 2026, we will have a Venus retrograde in October in Scorpio and Libra, and Mercury will retrograde in Scorpio in October till November. That being said, until November, okay, that being said, you're going to revisit these themes. And that's not to scare you. This is me telling you, hey, what wisdom did you receive? What was it? Yes, pay attention to that and get it done early in the year. So you better prepared for the energy. So you don't like kick yourself or ask yourself, why didn't I make that choice when I knew I should have? Do what's right for you. Okay, and this is where you can find things moving a lot more with ease. A Mercury retrograde could create delays for you financially, losses in money, losses in relationships. So keep that in mind, okay? Best advice I can give you, prepare yourself, It's, this is like forecast to let you know what's happening. So like, hey, we might revisit these themes. Do the work. December 11th, post-shadow, Mercury enters into your sign and you already start feeling better. This is like an easy period. And I also feel with Mercury retrograde, Mercury direct in Scorpio, the post-shadow, you find healing, you find closure, you find a way to heal what was broken in relationships. You can communicate better, right? You know what to say. And then when Mercury's in your sign, December 11th, this is where things get even better. You now even communicate even more, bear more confidence, and you heard with ease. By December 15th, the post-shadow period is done. And Mercury will be in Sagittarius. And this is where every delay you had, now you see things moving a lot better. The opportunities, you can express yourself personally, professionally. You feel less tension mentally and you can move forward with grace. Okay, so things do get better until January 1st. Then Mercury will move into Capricorn. And we'll do that when I do my January horoscope. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you and I will respond to you in the comments. Capricorn. There was so much. Mercury retrograde creates a lot of tensions in your social circles, your collaborations, your networks, your friend groups, the various groups that you choose to associate with via choice, your work group, family group, the hobby group, the knitting group, whatever group you're in, online and in person. Tensions arose, delays with what you desire, especially for your future wishes and dreams. Just more complications, right? Finally, Mercury goes direct November 29th and things start moving forward with ease, right? You see things getting better. Delays are now done. Things start falling into place. This is where you can communicate freely. You can step up into leadership. Group projects work more effectively. You get the offer from that company because that's a place you chose to associate with. Things start moving along, right? Now, I want you to heed the call here. Whatever nuggets of wisdom you received within your social circles, the truth bombs, the revelations, the insights, there was a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Keep it in mind, October of 2026, Venus will retrograde in Scorpio and Libra. Okay, and Mercury will retrograde in Scorpio, so we will revisit these themes. So act upon it now. Make the changes, not now, but like once Mercury goes direct, going forward of what you want to see resolved and into early of 2026. I know you got the stamina because December 15th, Mars enters into your sign. Okay, Venus enters into your sign. 24th, 1st of January, Capricorn, Mercury's in your sign. So there's going to be a lot of forward movement going forward for you. December 11th, post-shadow Mercury and Sagittarius, still seeking solitude, closure, healing, time out, reassessing things from behind the scenes. Then December 15th, this is also once again, you still reassessing things. It's a great time for healing, closure, understanding things in a deeper way. Even a vacation, a holiday, a trip away, some downtime is very much needed for you. And it will be so good for your soul. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below. Aquarius, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio creates a lot of havoc in your career, your goals, your ambitions, and delays and frustrations and angst about your reputation, how you're perceived. Right? It would have been a lot harder to get the work done. You had to reevaluate your process, your structure, your system, and tensions with conflicts or parents or people in authority. Employers too. Now going forward, things move along a lot more with ease, and you'd find opportunities within your career, news about your career that was delayed. You get the answers, especially now until December 11th. Now, I want you to keep in mind all the revelations and the truth bombs you got about this retrograde. What did it tell you you need to change about yourself, how you perceived your reputation, how you achieve your goals? Because next year, October, Venus will retrograde in Scorpio and Libra until November, and then Mercury will retrograde in Scorpio, October to November. So we're going to reassess these themes. This is not done. This is giving you the answers that you need to see. Okay? And you need to act upon them because you want to make things move forward in a way that's easy for you in the new year. And I'm giving you this heads up before 2026 October. So you have time. It's not to stress you. It's just telling you, hey, if you know you should not trust that person, or if you've been rethinking your career path, hello, make the change. If you're on the verge of completing something, right, in terms of your career path, stick the route. It's hard, yes, but is it worth it? Yes, it is. So just be prepared for that, okay? Good things are coming for you in 2026. I'm not here to scare you. 17th of February, solar eclipse in your sign, a whole new you is being born. So yes, you're going to have to change the way you're perceived by the world, your reputation, your goals, your ambitions, your sense of legacy and purpose. That's what these retrogrades are doing for you. December 11th, post-shadow Mercury enters into Sagittarius. And for you, this has a lot to do with, you finding your social circles, your community, and it's very prosperous in terms of communications, collaborations, and networking. Mercury will be in Sagittarius until the end of the year. So December 15th, Mercury leaves the post-shadow period, and a lot more expansion growth through networking, collaborations, and opportunities will come to you for your future wishes and dreams, as well as your circle. You find optimism within the people you spend time with. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below. Pisces, Mercury goes direct, and that's good for you. I know a lot of people don't think you influence that much by Mercury retrograde, but hello. Virgo sits opposite you and ruled by Mercury. Gemini rules over your home and family, ruled by Mercury. So Mercury retrogrades can be quite emotional and intense for you, especially when it comes to reminiscing the past and if there's any unfinished business within your relationships. Okay, now this Mercury retrograde will create delays in higher learning, travel, some tensions within personal beliefs with others as well. Your journey and anything in terms of teaching, if you have to put out a course, writing, knowledge, wisdom, all those things, or learning something, delays, yes. Okay, now going forward, you're going to find things moving beautifully with ease until December 11th, where Mercury will be post-shadow in Scorpio. So a lot more growth and opportunity and expansion. And you're feeling good, Pisces. This is like, yes, I can see, I can see the bigger picture now. I get the answers. I can see deeply into the bigger picture. I want you to keep in mind, though, 2026, Venus will retrograde October, Scorpio and Libra. Okay, as well as we are going to have a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio once again, October and November. So re-evaluate and see the truth that you received this retrograde, because we will go deeper into it in 2026. If you don't act upon it, you're going to be like, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I make the change in how I could expand and grow? I saw where I was stuck and stifled. See, this Mercury retrograde would have showed you for sure where you were stuck and stifled. Yes, you're going to find the ways to move forward with opportunities. But if you sleep on it, because you got to take some form of action, you're going to get the idea. You're going to get the news. You're going to see the insight. This is a Mercury, but you need to move with it in order to make it, something tangible. December 11th, post-shadow Mercury enters into Sagittarius, and you really see opportunities within your career, opportunities to expand and grow. December 15th, Mercury leaves the post-shadow period, and any delays you have met with your career, your goals, your ambitions, it all comes through for you. And personal goals, because you're also ruled by Jupiter, your sense of faith. This is where you see that opportunities are flowing in. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you down below in the comments.